Let's see. We've got Wayne the Elf. And Suspenders is back in town.
That is a Christmas jumper. That truly is.
Hey, Wayne.
You made up for all of Kieran's lack of spirit.
I know.
That outfit alone. All right.
I'll just put on two like this, right? Can I do this? Is this?
That you can do that. It's still hello Texas, Wayne. Hello, it obviously you've gone big. That's it. It's the movement of the country.
And do you know what? This jumper, this woolly jumper, is made for the UK. So imagine wearing it in like 70 degrees or whatever it is right now. I'm hot.
All right, Wayne.
Oh, we knew that already. Yeah, we knew that.
I'm going to do a spin for you because we got to stay on schedule. This is my job. I am the rule enforcer. So here we go.
You realize that, Emma?
Number 13, Wayne. Your question. All right, this is a good one. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to ask you your question, give you the floor. You can do a real quick introduction and then dive into your response. So, what merits or cautions do you feel like come along with the idea of citizen development? And do you think that it is truly an effective path to scale automation across the enterprise?
Ooh. Okay, so intro first. So clearly I'm not an elf most of the time. So I'm Wayne Butterfield. I am a director over at ISG Automation. I spent the last decade in the intelligent automation space, initially as a practitioner, really early adopter, back in 2010, so 12 years ago now. First deployed RPA when I was at Telefonica and did some good work at BT. And then I joined ISG about 5 years ago, helping everybody else on their journey. Obviously, great to be here. Know Kieran and Emma really well, and congratulations on the 1 year anniversary also. Question-wise, this is a good one. So I was actually in New Orleans last week. Was it last week or maybe the week before? And I hosted a workshop specifically on citizen developers. So thankfully, I feel like I had done some prep on this, even though it wasn't specifically for this question. And for anybody who was in that workshop, I talked very positively about citizen developer. The reality is, for me, and this could well have been on Francis's naughty list if you think about AA, is citizen developer really the crux? Is it really going to help an organization transform? It's debatable, okay? If I'm really honest, if I look at the stats that I've seen, probably only 1 or 2 in 5 programs are successful. Why? Okay. I don't think it's necessarily the technology. We can kind of come on to that. I think it's the people, okay? And I'm going to use a term that I hear a lot from Kieran, actually, digital dexterity. Some people have it, some people don't, okay? As much as we can talk about low code is still something that you need to have a mindset around. You need to have a way that your mind works in order to create and craft an automation in the no code world as well as anything else, right? You have to be able to link and think in a certain way. And that is not for everybody. Different people's minds work in different ways. Therefore, citizen developer is not going to be for everyone, right? So the key thing to do, think about, there's a couple of key things, right? First one is your people, right? You have to ensure that you are getting the right people involved in your citizen developer program. A citizen developer program is not everybody, okay? It is not everybody, okay? So it has to be certain people. You have to figure out who those people are. They have to have some form of digital skills and a mindset that is going to enable them to be successful. And when I talk about that, as my glasses fall off, as I talk about that, I'll give you some great examples. Mention no names. I know organizations who have trained up 50, 80, 100 people. Out of all of those people, imagine only 10% of them who have been trained have actually delivered an automation. That is not uncommon. Okay, so imagine the amount of effort that you're putting in order to not get those returns. So you have to choose your right people. Can they be successful? I think it probably can. I've seen great examples. I did a webinar the other day. It was never mentioned or called citizen developer, but Lloyds Banking Group in the UK has got 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 developers across all of their business doing amazing things, deliver 2.5 million hours back to the business. So it can be done. It has to be done right. And it has to be, it has to be a strategy. It cannot just be dumped on people. I think I could talk about this for an hour and a half. I know, because I did do the other day, but hopefully if we just leave it there for now, and obviously happy to continue talking about this in the questions in the audience. I think it's debatable whether this is going to be transformational. I think the future, it has to be. I think right now we're just not in a place where enough people are digitally dexterous in order to make the most of this capability that the technology is and can enable.
Man, you're after Kieran's heart using his terms and giving us an award-winning response. Thank you so much, Wayne, the elf. Now, suspenders. I can't even use your name on this live cast because they're so infamous from episode 2, I think. So Kieran is going to ask your question again, but I continue to control the wheel. So here we go.
Control the wheel. Wayne, a Christmas present, sir. Thank you very much. Absolutely.
All right.
For development.
Kieran,
tools.
question number 14.
14 on the list. Okay, let's see. This has to be a hard one because it's you. What emerging technologies should leaders be keeping a pulse on in 2022 and why? And I'm expecting a big answer here, Lasse.
This was actually the question I really didn't want, because this is, what are we going to look at? What's important, right? And do we even know what's coming out there that we haven't seen yet? But I actually thought a lot about it, and I think what we should be looking at is actually 5 years ago I heard a lot of people talking all about IoT all the time. It was all IoT being smart, but I think actually now it is going to be, the technology is going to be pushed a lot on, because we will see a lot of first of all 5G rollouts everywhere across the whole world, and then also these open architectures of cloud applications that will enable us to sort of connect all this data into flows with our businesses. I think that we have not seen the extent to which IoT can actually change the world, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that in 2022 and 2023 and so on. Obviously in prop tech, but also in vehicles and everything we do in industry that's not based behind a computer. Intelligent automation and RPA and everything has been very focused on your financial departments and your computer processing. But I think actually the ability to connect the whole world into it is something that's going to change the gear, up the gear a level, so we get to a completely different place with it. I think that was actually the thing I thought most about, because obviously I think that we have so many of these other suites already enabled starting. You see, of course, they will be consolidating even more the things we already know how to do. I'm having trouble to see what will actually change the world. People always say AI. I have a tendency to say that AI is not necessarily going to get simpler or easier, because you still need tons of historical data, and data scientists, data engineers are trim on the ground. But I really think the technology is involved in sort of connecting the whole world into what you can actually automate is going to change a lot on it and know about things. But that was just, it's the top of my mind, predicting the future. I've said before, I'm an educated historian, so I'm more on predicting trends from what I can see has already happened. It's really difficult to to see what technology will change the world. I think that's my 2 pence.
I like it. I'm banking on Web 3.0. That's my 2022. Let's see.
And here I am. I want another suspender snap before we take.
Oh yeah. But then you need to get me on a rant. Hating something. I'll say something about the citizen developer thing, right? And say, you don't get citizen brain surgeons, right? I wish I got that question, Wayne, because then I could go all like, no way, Jose. But I won't comment on. I have tons of comments on that citizen developer thing, but I'll try to not to behave. But hey, citizen evangelists, citizen designers, I'm all for that. Developers, I don't think so. Solutions will only get
in
more
the comments. Let's see.
I was going to say,
okay.
Put the cap lock on.
But,
join us.
I'll do it again. One more. There we go.
There we go.
And Wayne, there's an ask to share your talk the other day as well, if you can, in the comments as well. Priya has asked that.
I did. I saw that. I'm just starting to respond to all of the comments there, because there's quite a few which are great. It was a live workshop, so so it wasn't recorded, but I can share some of my content, although it was pointers, not necessarily the full spiel. So I'll sort that out.